All right.
Hey everybody, this is Nathan Cox. Meg McLean is recording this video. This is the most up-to-date information on the Liberty Empowerment Project here in Richmond, Virginia. First, I just want to highlight, here's some proofs of the actual material that we're going to be handing out. It's the new Virginia Cop Block card, which Meg helped design, as well as the jury nullification trifold, which is absolutely amazing. Meg did all this by herself. She deserves all the credit. Here's the Liberty trifold brochure.
Some people help me write the stuff.
We submitted a brief paragraph about the non-aggression principle, the don't take the plea deal concept, as well as the a brochure or handout on police accountability and knowing your rights. The one thing that isn't in this packet is the actual cover that's going to go, it's going to fold in between here, which will in turn go into this bag, because essentially what we're going to do is go into inner city neighborhoods, hand them out to people in the streets, and go door to door, and if people aren't home, we're going to leave this hanging on the door handle. That way we know for a fact that these 10,000 packets will get into 10,000 people's hands at the very least, if they don't get passed around and shared within their own communities. So here's some updates on the project. I'm going to do a lot of reading so I don't mess up and have to re-record 100 times. The total amount we needed was $3,380.85. We've raised all but about $300 of that. We've already raised enough to start the printing, and in fact the Virginia Cop Block cards should arrive tomorrow, and all the rest of the printed material, which I just showed you, we've sent to the two printers we're using today, and that we should hopefully have back within the next 10 to 14 days. Just to remind everyone of the cost of this project, the total cost for all the printed materials plus the door hanger bags was projected to be $2,301.55. Well, we've gotten that number down to $2,028 thanks to a little bartering with one of the printer companies we were using. The remaining amount we needed to raise was about $1,100, which was to cover my bills for 1 month, so I can effectively be on the streets and neighborhoods full-time for a month, as well as Meg. I want to add that we've had numerous volunteers who will help us out on a part-time level, and I need to further emphasize that the $1,100 in bills is the bare minimum. It does not include money for groceries and gas throughout that 1 month of full-time outreach. Full-time meaning 40 plus hours a week, Monday through Friday, or if it rains one particular day, we'll go on a Saturday or whatever. My current employment situation is, well, I'm unemployed, and that's what's given me the opportunity to do this full-time for a month, to hopefully get that immediate splash effect rather than disseminating this information part-time sporadically like we've been doing the past 12 or more months. I've been able to pay my bills the last 3 months doing various side jobs since I've been laid off. I'll be looking for a new job about halfway through this project is over with. That way I can continue to obviously support myself. So just to be clear, the current chip-in, which is the goal of the current chip-in is $300, does not take into account for the food and gas for 1 month outreach. We'll take as many volunteers as we can get. Like I said, we already have numerous that want to help. But if you're interested in helping and haven't contacted me or Meg, by all means, please send me a message or give me a call and let us know. Lastly, I'm beginning talks with Antonio Bueller, who's in Austin, Texas, who recently created Peaceful Streets Projects, who very recently, just about I think this past weekend, held their first annual Police Accountability Summit, which was a complete success. They handed out over 100 cameras to activists who plan on recording and filming the police at every opportunity available. They invited speakers such as Pete Ear, who's a co-founder of Cop Block. They had attorneys who champion civil rights and champion holding state agencies like police departments accountable, as well. They also had speakers of people whom you know, are victims of police abuse. So I'm hoping to organize and for Jenny Cop Block to sponsor a very similar summit at the conclusion of this Liberty Empowerment Project. The time frame for this possible or would-be summit would be the September or October time frame. I'm hoping that Virginia Cop Block can raise enough money to sponsor that summit in that particular time frame, and we would feature speakers such as Antonio, who created the Peaceful Streets Projects, a project in Austin, Pete Eyre, who's the co-founder of Cop Block, other speakers like Sheriff Richard Mack and Adam Kokesh, as well as local attorneys here in Richmond who champion civil rights and have a record for holding law enforcement officers accountable, as well as obviously victims of police abuse here in our own area. So that's the most up-to-date things that are going on. We should have all the material hopefully within the next 10 to 14 days. We'll invite about a dozen or so people over to the house here to help stuff these bags, and stay tuned for coming announcements. I just want to give a couple thanks. Big thanks to all the people who've donated so far to make this happen. Big thanks to the sponsors who've come out and make this happen. And I want to give a big thanks to Meg for doing all this literature pretty much pro bono. I definitely couldn't have done it without her. So thanks for everybody who's helped make this happen. And I'm really looking forward to hitting the streets in Richmond and educating, informing, and empowering people in inner city Richmond. Thanks a lot for your support, and keep it up.
Thank you from me.